Welcome back to the F123 My Team Save here on the ChesnoidPlays channel. After Victoire in Qatar, it's time for another sprint weekend actually at the United States Grand Prix here at COTA. With regards to the R&D, we're still the strongest car. We have upped the difficulty yet again. We started at 100. We upped it to 102 earlier on this season. We're now at 104, so this is certainly unknown territory for me and for us, but it's a sprint weekend over the course of the Saturday and Sunday. No trouble with weather in the race or the sprint, but quali is going to be wet at the very end. We'll be on intermediate tyres by Q3, and I'd like to think we can get to Q3. We should be getting to Q3, although it is on an increased difficulty, so I'm not guaranteed to get to Q3. What we will do, though, is put some older components in for practice, so we don't use the fresher ones and waste any usage we have on them. So we can do that. It's not a problem. Whack an old gearbox. I'm going to have to take a gearbox penalty very soon, unfortunately. But we're going to jump into practice, get as many resource points as we can. We're still waiting for regulation changes in Season 2. We got them before Qatar last year. We're now past Qatar and at the United States, and still nothing. So it will be at least Mexico by the time we get the R&D regulation changes, which is particularly late. Regardless, let's crack on to practice and take it from there. Drop the video a like if you're enjoying this save. Of course, you guys have been loving it recently, which is fantastic. Thank you very much for that. Dropping a like really helps the content as well. Of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more. And come and follow me on Twitch, where you can watch live and get involved right in the moment and help me figure out how the hell to go about doing things strategically. But we're good for now. Now let's go and see what 104 difficulty is all about, shall we? We're going to go straight to qualifying because I don't have enough soft tyres to try it. So we were top of the session, at least we were when we started to retire. Carlos Sainz and the Ferraris found a little bit more. It's very close at the top. What we'll do in quali, though, is unsure at the minute because I didn't get to do a quali run in that session. So at 104, I don't know still if we are or aren't in the right window. I didn't change the parts in my car. I hate life. Can I change parts first? I'm sad. I need that. And I need that before we go out for part family conditions. Everything else should be okay. Okay. We are just going to have enough time to do one flying run. Oh, that was close. So we at least have we're going to have a fresh engine, or fresh air engine, and a fresher gearbox. Otherwise my gearbox would have died halfway around that track. And we have to hope the control electronics and the energy store survive, which they should do. And I'm aiming for a 30, anything in the 32s, and we are comfortably through. Okay, 1, 2, 3, time to go to track. Oh, that was close. We nearly started very, very much last then. 817 from Lewis too. The Mercedeses are into the 31s. I just put in a purple middle sector though it's now green according to the top right. So I don't know whether I was purple or not. Lando, a 31.4 from Lando. Okay, hello. Charles, a 31.4. So the Mercedes actually didn't set a great lap, did they not? I would say we probably just need to be in the 32s and we're fine. And we're in the low 31s, which is good, but obviously everybody steps it up as you move through the sessions. And it's going to be wet at the end, so we're going to have to go out early in Q2, I think, just to try and get a dry time on the board before the rain comes. DRS is still enabled. A 35.6 puts me P4, and I don't think the track is going to improve from there. So we should be good. There were a number of drivers that didn't go out then, who may well have just cost themselves progression. One of which is Lewis Hamilton, who's on a lap now, actually, as is Carlos Sainz. They're all on a lap now, but is it going to be good enough? Carlos actually goes... It doesn't go purple at all. It's just he just set the time. Are they going to go into the top 10 here? Pierre's P1. Then Lando, Charles, George, Max, myself, Checo, Yuki, Oscar, and Alex. Lewis Hamilton is P13. The track has declined so much so that by going out later in the session, Lewis, and presumably after that Carlos as well, will be going out in Q2, which is great for our championship, of course. George getting through is expected, but it would be nice if both Mercedes had made that mistake. But the mistake was made, and Lewis and Carlos Sainz do not make it into Q3. Thanks, Lewis. Appreciate you. Right, can I, on Inters, get pole? Not while the drivers are well, basically everyone else is significantly compromised on this third and final run, if you look at the mini-map. So some lap times were being improved upon, but some, like George and Pierre at the back of the gaggle, it's just not going to be able to improve as much as they want, surely, because of the close nature of that train. This is going to be an unrepresentative lap time, really, compared to everyone else. I think that's pole, but nobody else was really able to... No, it's 5th. Okay. I thought that was pole, genuinely. But we got the sprint race to try and improve and get first place for the full Grand Prix. But everybody on their final run there, other than myself, was compromised. So there's not much we can draw from that. I had another scrappy lap in the wet as well, so I know I'm not fast enough in wet conditions. We just thankfully have no more wet conditions to run in. Right, we'll go and run around practice 2, get some more resource points, and then straight to the sprint race after that. No, I didn't want to go to track. I didn't want to go to track. Press the button too quickly. Retiring from session, not going to get any more resource points. I wanted to go to quick practice, and I went A first rather than right. I went A right. I needed to go right A. Oh well, we've missed out on 400 or 500 resource points there. Thankfully, we've now got 7,000 in the bank, so we shouldn't really miss that after that mess up. My fault. Apologies. Trying to rush through because we know we've got a lot to get done today. So a fully dry sprint of 19 laps, and then a fully dry race of 56. Strategy. How's this one work out? Now, annoyingly, Lewis is going to have the chance to get further forward. It recommends that actually a medium tyre is best for me. There's a mixture of mediums and softs. Pierre is on softs. I'm, because of my slightly increased tyre wear, going to go with the medium set. I think that's certainly the right thing to do. 19 laps, it's giving me 3.4 laps worth of extra fuel. I'll go with 2.5 laps of extra fuel, and we'll see if that's enough. Strategy pretty straightforward here then. Medium all the way to the end, and hope for the best. So the aim is to go forward from here to start the full Grand Prix from higher than 5th. But there are a lot of soft runners around me, and those soft runners are going to be much faster at the beginning, but hopefully by the end of the race they'll have fallen off a bit and our mediums will come into play. Running mediums here in the sprint means we're probably going to have to do an extra stop in the Grand Prix itself, but we should be able to manage tyres adequately enough in the full Grand Prix. Starting P5, 0.4 metres to the board, or to the very edge of the start box, and we're ready to go. Lewis starting a long way back, but championship rival not Max Verstappen, championship rival George Russell starting right at the very front. Got a good start on Max. The other three have done well enough. Max is going to try it around the outside here at turn 1. We're going to try and get the power down as soon as we can. He's now going to have the inside for turn 2. Then we'll have the inside for 3. It's Alex Albon, in fact. Hello, where'd you come from in your Williams? Jeez Louise. Alex out of nowhere. Alright, that's George disappearing already then, which is not great. Pierre started P6 behind me. He's already dropped to at least P8, as you can see from the top left. So not a great start. I've stayed where I was, but my championship rival is out front and disappearing, and my teammate is nowhere to be seen. Yellow flags behind, probably just because everyone's going so slowly through that strong, sharp left-hander. No damage or issues for anyone. I say damage. I don't know if anyone picked up any damage actually around lap 1, but we certainly didn't. Oh yeah. apart from maybe damage to ego. Having Alex Albon write me off in a Williams. Williams has made some improvements in this save of late, so we are expecting it to be quick. And this is the first time then that we are racing in full race conditions with 104 difficulty. So we'll see how well we do. Hoping to improve and go forwards though, to be honest. Regardless of the higher difficulty, I would like to start the full Grand Prix higher than 5th. Those around me on softs as well is not going to be easy to deal with in the opening few laps, but hopefully we'll have just enough with some ERS as well to keep ourselves within DRS range of Albon in front. And then hopefully we can make some moves further forward from that as this sprint race progresses. Certainly in this first sector I'm expecting Alex Albon or all of the soft runners to be much better than us on our mediums, but at the minute, even despite a little bit of an overshoot on one corner, we've been able to manage that sector quite well. DRS next lap, of course, not this lap. From lap 3 onwards, or effectively 2 laps after any race start, be that rolling from behind a safety car or starting from the grid, you have to wait 2 racing laps before DRS is enabled. If it's a virtual safety car, then DRS is disabled during the virtual safety car and then enabled again as soon as the virtual safety car is gone. Just FYI, those that didn't know. Oh, you are kidding me! My engine's gone already! We're on lap 2! And my engine's... Right then. Okay, fine. Well, no points for me in the sprint. I'd rather it happened here than in the main Grand Prix. But in the full Grand Prix, we will be starting P22. Wow. Mechanical failure. Was it the actual ICE? Because we did put a fresher ICE in after practice before qualifying. Pierre finished P2 at least, so good for the team. Lewis recovers from P13 to P3. Oh, Sag. Proper Sag. How is my luck? You are correct, Jaffa. Well then, at least I get to put a fresh ICE in for the full race, but I will have to start 22nd. Oh, it's the MGUK that went. It wasn't even the ICE. It was the MGUK. So it comes up with the wrong red bit sometimes. Well, since we're starting last, I might as well take that extra gearbox that we knew we were going to need between now and the end of the season. And I might as well put some fresher parts in yet further still from where we were. Oh, bloody hell. I can't believe it. I'm pissed. I'm bloody pissed, I am. Right. Well, to the race then, starting bloody last. This will be intriguing. Lots of overtaking to come, I hope. I think we plan for the 2-stop. And if the soft tyres are dying after 10, 11 laps, then we'll switch to a 3-stop, knowing we can just 14, 14, 14, 14. We'll plan for a 2. If tyres don't last, we'll switch to a 3. That's probably the best way to go about it. We'll plan for a 2, but switch to a 3 if we need to. And the Mercedes both start 1 and 2. If I haven't included it in a highlight yet, because Pierre Gasly took a penalty. He starts P12 as I start P22. Oh, joy of joys. This is going to be a tough one now for Chesnoid Racing, isn't it? Right, let me go and do my formation lap, and then we'll see where we go. My engine is still smoking. It's not. It must not have registered my new bits until we get to the actual race. Don't mind me. I'm a train. Choo. Hopefully it replaces. It must not register the new. Must not register the new parts that we put in until after the formation lap. Because I can't see the wear of any parts, so it must just not add them in until later. Till you actually get to the grid and start, and you can see your full MFD. So at the minute, I'm registering as having a blown engine, and I'm smoking everywhere. I'm a train, choo-choo, all aboard the Chesnoid Express. Hopefully, Chesnoid Express to a podium. That's the plan. See what we can do. Tyres are warm. Hopefully it puts me a new engine in as soon as we get to register the race. Otherwise, I'm going to start the race and I'm going to immediately retire. I definitely changed my parts, though. I definitely changed my parts. Okay, it's registering me as... It's registering me as having a broken MZUK still. This is great. So, I might be smoking for the rest of the Grand Prix. I've no idea what's going on. But at the minute, my car is working. And we are making positions. So I'm just going to have to smoke like a choo-choo for the rest of the race. Alright, fair enough. Game's gonna bug when a game's gonna bug. Hopefully I can still finish the full Grand Prix and it doesn't actually register me as genuinely having that MZUK. This is weird. Up the inside, excuse me, don't mind me, up to P17. Thankfully, the other drivers aren't affected by the lack of visibility behind me with that, so we should be okay. Because yeah, he's put my fresh gearbox in. It's just not. Must just be a visual thing. The inside. Thank you. Bye. Eat my smoke. God. It's really weird. Really, really weird. I imagine those starting on the mediums are two stopping, not three. I'll ask about Ayumu actually.
Behind you, they're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are just one lap old. Okay, we think
also, I think everyone's three stop. It appears then everyone's three stopping.
44.0.
Get a better exit if we can. Which we can't, but we will have DRS to help. Will it help much? On the inside, excuse me, Oscar, thank you. Eat my dust. Right, Nick DeVries up next. We should be faster than all of these guys anyway, regardless of the difficulty increase, because the car is so much better than theirs. Although their cars aren't doing that, so who knows whether I've got full performance or not. I don't know. I hope so, otherwise I'm in trouble. Okay, so the two Mercedes are disappearing out front, and they're dragging Lando with them.
No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus.
No tyre concerns. Alright, sweet. So I ask about vehicle condition, and they say that everything's fine. Yep, everything's fine. Taking longer than I might like to get through these back markers, though. I might need to do the old shut up and drive technique to concentrate and find an extra 2 or 3 tenths a lap to actually make my way through, because getting stuck in traffic is going to ruin any chance we have of a podium, especially if Lando's being dragged along by the Mercedes as well. Hopefully the two Ferrari are sat in front of the two Red Bull, which will slow those guys up quite a bit. Because the Ferrari's been improving, but it's still a pretty rubbish race car in this save. Pierre is right on the back of an Aston Martin, as you can see, in P12 currently, but hasn't been able to get past. So Pierre's only made one position so far. No, he started P12. Pierre's not made any positions so far. Tyre wear wise, 11%. I've got a bit of a run under Reese with the ERS, so I'm going to try and utilise it. Go on the outside of him. Which is what we've nearly been able to do. I will now have the inside line for this next one. Give him racing room, of course, until we're past, which we are. And now we'll go after Choo. Getting there slowly. If Pierre could hurry up. To be fair, Pierre is on the medium tyre, so he will find it more difficult to overtake in these early stages. But the car should be good enough that he should be able to get past everyone. And it won't be long before the softs start to go off and his mediums come into their own. They are fighting tooth and nail up there, whoever's in front of him. It's Bottas and Ocon. The two Alpines are getting feisty with one another. It's going to allow us to make a move on Zhou Guanyu, though, as everybody backs up a bit as they fight. We are up into P13. Right, Pierre. Oh, different strategies, pal. You need to move out of the way for me, mate. Oh, I wish there was a way I could get you to move out of the way for me. Tyres at 14% after 6 laps. I don't think they're really going to last the 17. I think we might be 3 stopping as well, you know. I've got a good run here. Although we are in the same car as Pierre. His isn't doing that, though. But we are in the same car. I'll try and get him. And the inside. Try not to ruin your race here, Pierre, but you're negatively affecting mine by just not getting out of the way. We're on different strategies. Still just within DRS range of Helga, so we'll be able to keep up with this group. There's a massive gap, though, in front of the Williams, all the way to the red. Hello, Pierre. I wasn't paying attention to where you were, pal. I was too busy looking at the mini-map. Pierre Gasly retakes P12. Oh, and I nearly put it in a wall. And Zhou retakes P13. All right. Back to shut up and drive mode. Right, I think Zhou does not have DRS. Lovely. Should be a pretty straightforward overtake then. Around the outside of turn 12. Get me back up to Pierre, please. ASAP Rocky. I would like to be within DRS range. Marco's on the exit, so to speak, of the final part of this turn. There. And we are just within DRS range of Pierre Gasly. Right, let's try that again, shall we? Let's try and get further forward from where we are. 20% wear on the fronts after 8 laps. I think we are pretty much nailed on for a 3-stopper here. But what I'm going to do, rather than go to mediums next, I'm going to go to softs next, just to make sure I've got absolutely both the pace to get in front of these 5 in front of me with an undercut, and maybe close the gap to the Red Bulls and Ferraris if I can. The proper train behind Alex Albon here, who had a fantastic sprint race, but he's now definitely holding up a lot of people here. Let's try and take Pierre again. Similar tactic to last time. Helga's gonna... Has he gone a little bit defensive there, Helga? No. I have to be careful I don't run into him here, though. Pierre's got the inside line. We've just got the ability to get away far enough that he slots in behind us. Right. I'm P12 again. Now, can I be far enough away from Pierre Gasly this time to ensure that my teammate doesn't get me back? This is a proper train behind Alex Albon now. Effectively, everybody that isn't the front 7 is in this train behind Albon. Although one of the Alpines has been able to get past him now. Bottas is up into P8. Gasly's actually going defensive to Zhou Guanyu behind him, which has allowed me the luxury to not have to worry about getting overtaken again into turn 1. They're side by side in front now as well, although it looks like Albon's had the straight line speed to keep position, has he? No, Albon down to 10th, Ocon is through. Right, we can't afford those guys to get too far ahead of us. I might pit lap 12 for another set of softs. Not really much I can do about Pierre here. He's just got the straight line speed and the run on me. Might get a better exit here though. Down the outside maybe. We'll take those. P12 again. Apparently at the minute P12 is as far as I can get. Plan is then to stop 12 for another set of softs. To then stop 26 and go to mediums. And then be on softs right at the very end of the race. Joe's taking Gasly behind me as well. Pierre is in the pits.
Pierre is in the pits.
Change of strategy maybe from Pierre. He is the only one to pit. I have a horrible feeling he might be pitting for front wing damage. One presumes Pierre stopped for front wing damage. He did indeed, from mediums to softs. We're going to stop this lap. I'm going to box this lap. We'll come out with Pierre, probably behind Pierre, to be fair. Oh no, but he's had the front wing change to add to his lap time, hasn't he? So we might still come out in front of Pierre. No, it does reckon I come out 20 seconds. Gasly's not having a very lucky weekend today, is he? I'm going to box this lap. Do I? Oh, I might have considered diving up the inside of both of them there if I hadn't had that snap of oversteer. Got a better traction than Hauger there though, and we're through on the outside of him here.
Brilliant, nice move. Keep going.
There's two Alpines though, just disappeared, so I need to come in and get that undercut sorted. Right, we're undercutting. Softs then for the undercut. Still smoking away merrily. I'm a train, choo-choo. Come on then, soft tyres on, undercut central please. I'm going to take these.
We had an issue attaching the front wheel.
Cheers then.
Ideal, but let's try and put that behind us and get back into this race.
We haven't had a pit stop issue like that
You've got
in forever.
Now. 2 stops remaining in this strategy.
Oh, fuck's sake. Okay, well, now we try and undercut. Me and Pierre going for it together. Purple middle sector, but still not really closing in on Pierre. And lots of people in the pits, as expected. Loads of people in the pits. How many could we potentially undercut myself and Pierre here? Hopefully quite a few. Pierre sets the fastest lap of the race. We are between us. Oh, yellow flags in sector 1 as well. So I'm up to P17, Pierre is P15. Yellow flags in front, 4 something. It's a Red Bull, I think. Safety car.
Safety car is out. We need to form up at reduced pace.
That's actually not great. That's a McLaren out though. It's Nick De Vries DNFing. Okay.
They're retiring from the race.
That ruins our strategy of undercutting. Because everyone else in front now is going to get a cheaper stop. Unless it makes them make silly decisions like it did in wherever we were previous to Qatar. Singapore? No, Pierre won Singapore. I retired. So some people are going to get a cheap pit stop. And we're going to actually lose ground here. Quite considerable ground. That's annoying. That's really annoying. Having started last, I needed the undercut to work for me. It will change everyone else's strategy as well, so I don't know how this actually is going to affect us too much. Although everyone else probably would have been pitting on this lap anyway. So we would have...
Okay, slow down.
We'll still undercut some. And their strategy shouldn't change. So we might have to change our undercut plan from this stop to the next set of stops. And go softs next again. And then on to mediums for the final stint. Rather than mediums in the third stint, not the fourth. Might have to go mediums in the final stint of the race. Although the safety car should save these soft tyres a little bit. So we might be able to take them... Oh, I don't know. Might be able to take them all as far as they were previously going to have to. And still only do a 14-lap medium stint rather than a 16-lap medium stint as we had previously planned. It's all up in the air now, but all we know is we're P11. We probably could have been P8.
Apparently there was nothing that could be done.
What? 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 Terminal damage. What? Oh, I'm so confused. So now it's just registered my MGUK as now having failed. Oh, I don't understand. I changed my MGUK and it's bugged on me and put the old MGUK in and now I'm going to have to retire. All right. It's not a bug. It's not a bug. I made a mistake, did I? I may have pressed the wrong button on the confirm window when changing the red engine part, as it didn't confirm the red outline when you were changing it to accept the penalty, so it didn't change, hence the smoke. Well, if that's on me, then that's on me. Right. Well then. That changes things for the championship, doesn't it? And a Mercedes won. It was Lewis, not George, which is better. Lewis winning, not George, is better. Pierre in P2 and George not on the podium. Valtteri Bottas P3. What happened to the remainder of that race? Where did George finish then in the end? George finished P4 in the full Grand Prix. So I get no points from that race weekend whatsoever.
Well, for me, it's got to be Lewis Hamilton, the multiple world champion.
So what does it do to the championship then? If I made a mistake and didn't put the right part in, then that's my mistake, isn't it, really? I could have sworn I did it though. If it was a bug where I went and clicked off it, but it didn't actually register me clicking it, then that would be really annoying. If I went into this, it's not selected. It would if it genuinely been a retirement, it would still be selected as the broken bit. I'm sure of it. I think that's a bug. Because it's registering me as being on the number 3. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at the footage. I think I might have gone and pressed it, and it might not have registered it properly. I don't know. I'd have to check the footage. The standings then. I am still top of the championship, thankfully. We're still trying to chase down Mercedes in the constructors, but that is... unfortunately, sometimes the way it goes. 1 point clear at the top. 6 points clear of George, sorry. And the teammate is within 100 points of me now. And within 16 points, within 17 points, 16 points the gap, of Max. Pierre is almost certainly going to get P4 in the World Championship. And almost certainly at this stage going to get his... I'm going to get his seat for next season. We'll do driver promotion filming and external driver training. We'll advance towards Mexico, where last year I was really not fast. I do have a much better setup. This year to last. Still waiting on regulation changes. Are they going to happen now as we go to the Mexican Grand Prix weekend? Round 20 of 23. Are we going to get regulation changes with 4 races to go? Still no regulation changes. It's a fully dry weekend in Mexico as well. Still no regulation changes. I do not understand what's happening. I can't commit to upgrade the car anywhere else without knowing what's going to happen with the regulations. Unless I've got something very cheap. Energy source is not important though. MGU-H I could do. MGU-K I could do. And the rest is not important at this stage. We've still extended our advantage at the top of the table. That midfield is so close together, though. From Aston Martin to Haas, there's barely any difference. Well, next time out will be Mexico then. You'll probably have guessed from the very short episode that there was a failure in that one. But the next episode will come to you, of course, tomorrow. So don't worry, you don't have to wait ages for the next one. The next stream will be today as you see this, tomorrow for those that are watching now for Formula 1. But we're still over 7,000 resource points available and plenty of parts probably to improve or adapt for the regulation changes when they come. I still feel like we're in a good position. Somehow, I still lead the championship, but I don't know if 104 is the right difficulty for me at the minute, because we weren't really able to properly test it there. Now I'm going to have to test the 104 at somewhere where I was awful last year and ended up DNFing in Mexico. And then we'll only have Brazil, Las Vegas and Abu Dhabi to drop to 103. We know that 102 is not high enough, so it's probably safe to presume that 104 is the right place to be. But Mexico I was dead slow at. I don't know. I really don't know. That'll be all for today's episode, though. Apologies that it's quite short. I'll try and include as many highlights as I can. But for now, that's all for this YouTube video. Do come across and join me on Twitch to make sure you don't miss out on any further content. And subscribe to the channel and you won't miss out either. I'll see you in the next one.